Guys, we on. I'm here. This your guy, Carl Reed. And hey, listen, we on Monday nights, we like to get a little live on here. And I have my guy Smoke Dixon come in. Everybody knows Smoke. We do Unfiltered together on Wednesdays and Fridays at 24/7. And I got my guy, most people would say he is the preeminent figure in women's basketball on the grassroots level. I think they call you an expert, Brandon. Where we is that?
That's beautiful. You said preeminent?
Preeminent.
Come on, I gotta watch you. I gotta keep my vocabulary out with you, and that's beautiful.
You are the preeminent guy on the women's basketball side, Brandon Clay, right? So I want to start off. I got a lot of calls this week, and I had one actually as I was driving home for us to do this tonight. We got a lot of calls about high school eligibility, right? So you guys both know that I was a high school coach. And anytime you're dealing with transfers, you're going to always have issues. ADs, principals, guys choosing whether or not they want to give a guy opportunity to play, a check for athletic reasons. And most people don't realize that that's something that goes on across the country. Smoke, I'm going to start with you. What's your feelings about how players should be handled when they leave one high school and go to another?
Well, Carl, I'm 110% business. We're at college and even high school athletics. It's not just an amateur sport anymore. It's a marketing, it's a business plan that these young people can monetize off of, right? So treat it as a business. If he's a sophomore and he left and he's going somewhere, he or she leaves and goes somewhere else, there's still a good chance that they might even bounce back to you. So treat him like you treat anybody else. Leave him on good grounds. If you leave, handshake, and hey, listen, respect. If it don't work out on that side, we can always take you back. Because once you remove all the emotions from it and just look at it from the business standpoint of it, that's just what it is, man. I don't hold these young people for nothing other than what they are at that moment. And they're hearing ways of getting money, getting bags, and getting themselves ahead in terms of their career, all out. Go get it. I'm not going to hold you back, and I'm not going to try to stop you from leaving when you want to leave.
Brandon, what's your take on it?
I think it's always been disparative toward the football and basketball player, right? Like, some of the uncomfortable conversations about race in our country and how those things move and what that looks like. The 14-year-old tennis player can get money. The 14-year-old side, those people can go pro. Nobody says a word. Nobody bats an eye. The math student goes to the charter school, to the gifted school. They leave mid-year. The choral student, the best soprano in the school, goes to the better. Like, nobody says a word. There's no penalties in those spaces, right? Chorus and band, the fine arts, and even your non-revenue sports. But you get to the revenue sports, and now everything gets dicey, right? It was the last time you heard a kid get turned in for being ineligible in golf.
Never.
Come on, man. The saxophone, the trumpet, like, people move all the time, not to mention just academic reasons, right? I want my kid in a better school, in a better environment. I don't understand why the revenue sports are targeted. Obviously, there are multiple layers that we could get into. We couldn't touch them all tonight if we wanted to. But I think that's something that's heavy on my heart as I deal with student athletes day in and day out, is people making moves. And then what is a bona fide move? Like, if my family gets a different place to reside, who cares why we did that? Right. We did it. We paid the money. My kids should be eligible to do whatever they want. So, but you're seeing more and more of that. You're seeing the landscape change. Same thing with the NIL, right? For years, there was a cap of sports. The cap was whatever the scholarship was worth. And one by one, you've seen enough people challenge that. I think the next antitrust call, not to get too far off the subject, is going to be women having to stay in the without being able to go to the WNBA. Juju Watkins is someone who could challenge that. But with every generation of people that advance, you get more and more challenges. And I think that's what you're seeing here, fellas.
Agreed.
My thing just always is, you have schools that are building multi-million-dollar facilities in high schools. Every time you turn around, I'm seeing turfs go up, lights go up, new stadiums go up, bond issues being passed at public schools. Private schools invested millions of dollars in the facilities. Are you not trying to build these facilities to attract a certain type of student, a certain type an athlete. So it just would seem to me that in those situations, you would be letting those guys play, or girls, or whatever the situation is, because why are you doing all of that? Why are you making that type of commitment financially if you don't want your program to be good?
Reed, here's a crazy thing. Even when you just said that, right? We all know that it comes down to the green, right? Silent money, not loud money. And most of these ADs, coaches, and whoever, the reason why they don't want some of these young people to leave their school is because they're not going to end up getting that capital. They're going to lose games. They're not looking out for the athlete and saying, hey, listen, this might be the best opportunity for the athlete. They're looking at it saying, this is the best opportunity for me. And if I can't win with you or get money with you, then I'm going to make sure that you can't go to the other school and play. We just got to look past that emotional standpoint and just say, hey, listen, this is a business. You're going to lose out in some business. And when business comes down to it, it's all production based. And if you can't help me at this high school, and I know Carl Reed over there can help me, I'm going to go see Carl Reed. Because at the end of the day, we know what we got to get to. We got to get to the point that we can sit back and make generational wealth.
Guys, if you're watching this show and you have an issue that came up with you transferring, or somebody, if you're a player or a parent and you want to comment, feel free to. We'll put your comment up here if they come in. Guys, I think that I was talking to a high school AD earlier today about a situation he was having and kind of trying to talk him through why I felt like he should basically free the player and allow the player to go play. And he seemed pretty convicted on not wanting to release the young man. Brandon, I'm going to go with you here first. What would your advice, or what would you say to an athletic director or principal that was preventing the kid from playing, especially a kid that has a potential scholarship on the line?
Well, I think the hard thing for everybody involved, right, is what Smoke said, being able to get past your vested interest in the situation. But I think a lot of it, too, is the blowback on what athletics are becoming. For so long, the money and the wealth in athletics was limited to the people who were coaching and the people who were running things, the people who were on the field, on the court. In no other industry, music, imagine Drake doing a show, a young Justin Bieber doing a show, and they didn't get any of the money. All the money went to all the people around them, but they didn't get any of the money, right? That's essentially what we were able to do with sports. Even the talking heads like us, right? Everybody was profiting off of this system, but there was a very, very small cap. And so I think we're still probably 10 to 15 years, Carl, away from being able to get past that, where enough people have been in this space talking about it, where the people who had the issues with it have aged out of the system, so to speak. And all that's left now, we become the old heads, and we're okay with it now. So 15 years from now, we're all fine with it, and everybody else underneath it is fine with this too. But if we're being honest, generations go 20 years, we're probably still a good 15 away from everybody being able to kind of take that mindset where it's okay for people to do whatever's best for them and their family. Doesn't mean you have to love it, but you can respect it.
Smoke, what's your take? What would you say? You've been in administrative roles. How would your take be?
Again, I'm always come back to it and just say, holding that player back is just because you want that player at your high school. Once that player's already said they're gone, Carl. Once they leave and they out, it makes no sense for you to hold that player back from going to another school. Even if it's in your district or in your area, just let it go. The decision's already been made. All you're doing is holding a young person back that don't even understand what's going to happen to them for your personal reasons. That's it. You don't want to lose to that player, and you just don't want to go. You don't want to face that player. That's it. But I would say, my man, give it up. The game's over. Move forward. The gig's up. Because Carl, you and I both know it. If I'm coming to you today to tell you something, decision's already been made. The move's already happened. We're just coming to get your blessings and make sure that whatever little trap that you try to put, we already escaped that. The gig's up. Money's in the bag. Move on.
I'm going to just tell you, if you're an AD or a principal or a coach and you're trying to do anything to stop a young person from playing, I don't care whether it's a football, basketball kid, I don't care whether they play softball, soccer, just cut it out, man. just
let it go.
Just let it go, bro. Just knock it off, man. Like, stop the foolishness, stop the madness. Like Smoke said, the jig is up. It's over. And the people made a decision, man, and just move on.
Emotions never, ever get involved when we doing business. Because as soon as you get the emotion gets involved, Carl, now you're making erratic decisions and not thinking all the way through.
So moving on here, one of my pet peeves in the game of football is this. I see so many youth teams playing 30, 40, 50 games a year. It's happening all over the country, right? And every time I talk to youth coaches who do this, they telling me, well, the kids ain't playing the whole game, and they doing it in this place, they doing it at that place. That don't make it right, though. That doesn't mean it makes sense. So how I'm gonna phrase this is this. I saw I posted it on my social media. It was a video of Scott Boras, the #1 baseball agent in all of baseball, who talked about youth baseball players playing too much, having too many, especially the pitchers, pitching too much from a young age. I've talked to Prime and other luminaries in the football industry about youth players having too many football games. I've seen some of the most powerful basketball agents and basketball minds in the country say that they're playing too many basketball games. We're playing way more than we practice it, and that's not a good model. So if the top people in every sport, right, the people who are where every parent says they want to be, guys, and Brandon, I'm gonna start this one with you. Why are the youth coaches and the parents so adamant about going against what the real experts who've got it done before are saying they should do from a game plan standpoint?
It's a beautiful question. I think it's a multi-layered answer here. The first one is we're a country of competitors. We want to win. Like, we enjoy this. I watch parents, whether it be at my events, I have a club myself, like whatever. Like, it's entertainment. You think about how many families plan their vacations around youth sports now, right? Hey, we've got this tournament at Disney in Orlando. We're going to stay an extra day or two. Whatever. They literally plan summers, vacations, springs, and falls around it. So I think that's number one, to try to get them to spend that same capital on development. Good luck. It's just not what we do collectively. But I think the second part to that is too, Carl, being able to look at, how do I balance that? How do I get kids competition? How do I get them games? How do I put them in situations, and even to Scott's point, live reps. Smoke, you know this from all the evaluating you've done for years, whether it be NFL, whatever. I could put a guy out there at Mike linebacker and show him all kinds of film, but at some point he's got to be able to react to what's happening. And I know it's youth level, so it's different. I grasp that. But I think on some level too, kids are in hitting cages now 3-4 nights a week. Kids are taking all kinds of lessons, all kinds of shooting lessons, skill lessons. The parents want to see that capital translate, man. We got to get some games in so I can see what my kid's been doing in real time and watch them get better. So I think it's the combination of us wanting to compete as a country, as people, but then also so many kids now are getting specialized private lessons at such an early age, which I don't necessarily agree or don't agree with. That's a whole nother topic too. But I think that you're taking that and then you want to see the results from the capital and time you're spending. So I think it's a combination of all those things, man.
Smoke, you got a son. Now you played, like, for people who don't know, Smoke, you were one of the top recruits in the country. You could have went anywhere. You went to Alabama. We know that because we had to take a shot every time he says Roll Tide. Anytime he says Bama, right, he's gonna say that Bama's the #1 team in the country, no matter what. And I got proof. Like, I got receipts that Smoke does this, right? So played at Bama, played in the league with the Buffalo Bills, right? If a youth coach comes to you for your son is 8 years old, if he comes to your son and says, Smoke, this is the schedule. We're going to go to 8 states this year. We're going to play 45 games, right? What are you going to say to that coach?
Not going to happen at all. There's a certain understanding in the development that parents got to understand. And in the group chat, we always talk about it, former athletes. And we always, when we were in the locker room, we said, we never wanted our kids to play the game professionally, just because we understood the wear and tear and just amount of time that you got to put into becoming really good and perfecting your craft. A lot of parents that's never been to that level they don't understand the time that it takes to do that, or the discipline, the consistent behavior and the practice that you have to do daily just to become above average at what you do. So when parents that don't understand that, they get into, I got to get my son or daughter there right now. And it takes time. I want my 8-year-old to play basketball, baseball, soccer, jiu-jitsu, hang out with his friends, just be a normal kid. And parents don't understand that being a competitor is not about you. Your child has to not want to lose, to want to win in the worst way to do anything that they want to do. And until one of my kids come and tell me, say, Dad, I really want to play an organized sport, they never play. All they do is just show up and practice. Because I don't want my kid going out there not having that desire to win and not lose. So you tell me 45 games, I'm going to tell you, Coach, absolutely not. If you tell me that my son is going to play tackle football before he's in the 9th grade, I'm going to look at you and say, no way. Because I understand that the wear and tear that it took on me. And I didn't start until play in 9th grade. But I see these young youth coaches that don't know how to coach. And I'll be darned if you have my kids out there doing a drill that have their safety like not in your best interest. So no, Carl, we're not going to play 45 games. Do you want to practice? Yes, but we're not going to play football year round either. We're going to play football during football season, soccer during soccer season, baseball, and so on and so on. Because you and I both know if you're going to be a pro, it's going to happen organically. I love multi-sport athletes. I love evaluating multi-sport athletes, and I think our kids need to become multi-sport athletes. And parents that don't understand it are the ones that are sitting there on the fence, screaming at their kids, saying, "Oh, you're not good enough. You don't have enough desire." And I always tap my wife, and I be like, "These are the same guys. I don't even know them." Right? They weren't good in high school. They weren't good in college. I don't know any of these kids or any of these parents. So I'm like this. If your dad was an athlete, there's a good chance you're going to be a pretty good athlete as well, too. If your dad was just an average Joe, I'm going to say the kid's going to be an average Joe, too. So just understand who your kid is and just appreciate that they go out there, understand how to be a good teammate and be a good person. When I put my kids in sport, I don't put my kids in sports just become professionals. I want them to learn life lessons. And that's what athletics has taught us. So once you can get past the rest of my kid's going to go pro, you can understand the reason for them perfecting their art. And that's just training them how to be consistent and have discipline in anything.
So, Smoke, one of the things that we talked about this a lot the last couple of weeks when we talk about the de-emphasis of the running back at the professional level is my belief, and I want to get your viewpoint on this, that the running back has the hardest job because he's the person who's been getting ran into the ground since he was 6 years old. And so, they've been giving this guy the ball 30 times a game since he was 6, right? And by the time that guy goes through Little League, then we gave it to him in high school, then you turn around and he played major college football, we gave him to there. Man, how much does he really have left? Do you think that there's correlation between the amount of times kids are touching the ball as youth players up until they get to that level for those guys who make it that far?
Yeah, because I don't think in youth football, you're going to actually know what position you're going to play when you get to college. The best athlete should be playing quarterback. And just play every single position so you can understand it. So the whole wear and tear of a 10-year-old and a 10-year-old telling me that I'm a running back. No, you're not. You're just a player. Go play defense. Go learn how to run routes as a receiver. Go learn how to block. Go learn how to tackle. Because at the end of the day, when I was evaluating cornerbacks, Carl, I used to tell those guys all the time, I never wanted to get a DB or corner that only played defensive back. Because that's telling me something. Your value is not that high on your team. Because if you're the best athlete, Carl, you're a big-time high school coach, what did you do? You gave that player the ball every single way that you possibly can. And putting him at corner, unless you had like a number one receiver out there, I'm wasting time and wasting your legs. So no, you ain't going to play corner. Ever. When you get to college, I can teach anybody how to backpedal, bro. Just turn around and walk backwards. And backpedaling is overrated. So the wear and tear that we're putting on these kids, we don't have to. We're only doing it again for our selfish reason. You want little Joey to play running back because that's the best way that you can win the game. But you're not looking out for Joey's overall development and saying, can Joey catch? Can Joey run a route? Can Joey throw a pass? Does Joey understand the fundamental developmental standpoints of football, tackling, blocking, catching? No, all he knows how to do is open his hand like this, get the ball, find the hole, and run. So
Hey,
we're
Reed,
doing that to our kids.
I got something on this topic, man, and Smoke, you'll appreciate this. I think when you look at Todd Gurley, right? I'm a big Georgia guy. So you look at Todd Gurley, you look at Sonia Michelle, you look at Nick Chubb, obviously, with the second one now in Cleveland. And just to y'all's point about the wear and tear, it's just hard to avoid it. Every now and again, McCaffrey has obviously had a little bit, but he's just so good that he bounces back. But it's hard, man. We talk about guys at the running back position being old. Them dudes are 27, 28 years old, man. Gurley's been out the league going on 3 seasons. He's 27 years old. Like, it's tough. Shout out to kudos to Ramondre Stevenson being able to get a bag here in the offseason for Mayo and the new staff in New England. But that's just a hard position to get to that second contract because you have taken so many hits and the impact, 25, 30 hits a game, not to mention your pass protection hits, man. It just – at some point, the numbers start to add up, and it's the wrong way, man. So I agree completely on this one.
So B, what I usually tell them is this. If you feel like you're the guy that's getting 25 carries, yes, that's too many times. But if I get 25 touches, I'm good. Yeah. Like, you just have to learn how to create value for yourself. Because if all you could do is dot the I or stand next to the quarterback and run the ball, yeah, you're a first and second down player. And on third down, if you have to be in pass pro, that means you're not a matchup guy in terms of you against a linebacker. So if I'm teaching my running backs, I'm creating as much value in terms of their skill set. I want you to be the best route runner, the best blocker. Like, getting the ball and running to the hole and getting hit by a linebacker, at some point you're going to wear down. But catching the ball and getting tackled by a DB, that's easier. Catching the ball and getting out of bounds, yeah, I'm not taking that much wear and tear on my body. So as coaches, as evaluators, even as parents, if you want to create value for your kid, just teach them different skill sets within the game, and they'll be perfectly fine.
So Gino Auriemma, the UConn coach, legendary coach, he's been very critical on the basketball side, especially the women's side, that you a big guy on, that the girls are playing too many games. Right. So are we having issues where girls are playing sometimes 7 and 8 games in a weekend? Is that too much, or is it being overstated and it's different from football because it's not a contact sport?
I mean, I think it's both. I think there's some validity to what Gino says, right? Almost every time he opens his mouth, there's some validity to what he's been saying. And he's not a guy that shoots off the cuff very often, right? Like, the point at which he says something, he's thought about it and had some dinner and wine discussions about the topic, right? It's one of my guys, man. But, I think that as far as this goes for what we're talking about, it meets you somewhere in the middle. You don't have a lot of high school kids that are playing 7, 8 games anymore on a weekend. The NCAA has even mandated you can't play more than 2 games in a single day now. There have been some constraints placed around the sport in a great way to limit how much these kids are playing, but they're still playing basketball. And every time that you walk out on the floor, Cameron Brink, bless her heart the other night, right? But every time you walk out of there, Caitlin Clark, I think, played 11 games in like 23 days. She's in the WNBA. The WNBA needs to legislate how many games they're playing in small spaces and windows for their players. Like, I think that there could be some universal legislation. NBA guys have talked about that too, right? Playing every third day, no back-to-backs, just some different things as we get smarter about how to be able to control injuries to the best of our abilities. I think Gino's right, but I think it starts at the very, very top. And as long as those guys and those women continue to play back-to-backs on road, you're going to play back-to-backs at youth. You're going to play twice in a day. We just mirror the pro system. If they skipped and went every third day, the season would be longer, but we would all adjust as well. It all starts in this top down, man.
Reed, he's 100% right with it. And when you look at it, when your best athletes start getting these injuries and they're out for a long period of time, and the marquee player you can't brand anymore, and that capital starts looking real bad on your part, Carl, especially if you're over the top of it, then that's when you start realizing that the reason why a lot of these young players are getting hurt, because they're just tearing their bodies up. Like, when we played, we played outside. And we didn't play 8, 9, 10 games. right? We're playing, but it wasn't in a structured environment. We were just out there refining our skills, not knowing what we were doing. So yes, at some point, you got to pull them back. Like, nah, you have to let your body rest. Go play tennis. Go play golf. Go do something else that you're not working those same muscles every single time that you just, when you're 25-year-old, 27 years old, Todd Gurley, your body's like a 40-year-old. Yeah. Just because that's all you've done is just one thing over and over and over again. I think that's why even that when you check the history in terms of injury, Carl, it's skyrocketing now for this generation compared to us.
What do you say though, Smoke, to the youth coach that's doing that? Like, what do you does he need guidance? Does he need more professional development? Like, what would you say to a room full of youth coaches who are gonna play 30 to 50 games this season, and they're telling you that kids need to focus on football in a year-round situation?
My question is I'm always going to go to that 1%. Right? There's only 1% of all these kids in here that's going to make it pro. So now that they're playing 30 and 40 games, what are they getting out of it? And they have to give me like a strong answer. Right? And that's it. And I would say you have to afford who you can afford to be and know who you are. A lot of these kids just need to get out the house and go do something productive. They don't need to play 45 games. Just keep them busy like they kept us busy, Carl. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't going to North Carolina, going to South Carolina, Georgia, Louisiana when you're 8, 9, 10 years old. Like, no, just let me play against some dudes across the road, across the railroad, in the next neighborhood, and give me 10 games, and then come pick me back in that same 15-passenger van so I can play baseball. Then the next 6 months, come pick me up in the basketball so we can play basketball. And then baseball. Then I'm going to do summer track. But if you kept that going like that, Carl, I think you'll get exactly what you want. You get them active. You create what you want in terms of muscle memory and overall developmental growth as an athlete, but you're just not wearing them down, just doing one activity over and over again. An 8-year-old does not need to play 40-something games of tackle football in the season. They won't make it to 18, 19 years old at that pace.
All right, guys. Now, I know that you both been itching to have this conversation.
Oh, let's get to it.
I'm gonna really just be the referee on this one. I'm not gonna get too deep in this with y'all. I'm not gonna get too deep.
No, you are, because you be in a group message. You be going crazy. We need your take too. Don't short us now.
Get out.
Yeah, don't get quiet on us now. Go ahead and speak tall, my brother. Stand on business.
Yesterday was becoming the new rivalry in sports between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Chicago Sky pulls out a 1 win. Another, Brandon, it was another record-breaking attendance for women's basketball.
Yep. So the only reason, obviously, the numbers didn't go higher is United Center wasn't available. They actually had a pre-scheduled concert, so they played the game where they normally play it at Wintrust, but they could have sold out United Center. Friday night in Atlanta was a record breaker there at State Farm Arena, 5 times the capacity of the G League arena there in College Park they normally play the games in. The Dream were able to sell standing room only tickets on the day of the game for $25 a piece to stand. There was no seat. That's how big of a draw Caitlin Clark is. But we're gonna come back to that, man.
I'm gonna in the room here. And I'm gonna start with you, Smoke, on this, and then I'm gonna pivot back. Should Caitlin Clark have been on the Olympic team?
Absolutely. What a miss. What did Brandon just tell you 20 seconds ago? Arenas are being sold out. The last time we heard about an athlete having arenas change just because they had to show up and play in that arena, who was it, Brandon? I'm gonna say LeBron James.
Yep.
That's the last time we ever heard of moving to another spot so I can get more in. Right? You're moving. So if I'm a female basketball player, and branding is what I want the attention. I want the whole world watching us. We got to have Caitlin on the team. I don't care if she sits at the end of the bench. She got to be a part of this travel party. When the Dream Team first got jumped off, if Michael Jordan wasn't on that team, ain't nobody watching that.
Whoa.
Brandon, If Michael Jordan not on that dream team, tell me who you watching, Carl. Magic, Bird was laid on his back. David Robinson, Scotty, Chris Mullin, Charles Barkley,
Christian Laettner.
Christian Laettner. The draw was Mike. The reason why we're talking about women's basketball right now, Caitlin Clark. Huge miss.
Carl is furious right now. He is furious.
Huge miss.
Angel Reese don't get a seat at the table. We not talking about
put Angel on the team as well. This Carl, it's not a competition. The United States women, they're gonna beat everybody by double figures easily. They've been doing that. So what else? You need the game to grow. So if you want the game to grow, you need attention. Who are the two ladies that's gonna fill up seats? Angel, Caitlin. That's the business of it. That's it. The business of it, that she's on the team. You're losing me. I'm not. Listen, are you gonna watch the game, girl?
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. Stop lying. Stop lying.
You said that real fast. You said that real fast.
I'm gonna check it out.
Okay. But you'd be tuned in and have your calendar set right now if Caitlin was playing. You want to see her pull up something from the logo. You want to see Angel talk crazy and bring that dog attitude to those European girls and international. Like, that's what we want to see. That's a different brand that we haven't seen that part in the women's sport. We haven't seen the skill set like Caitlin. We haven't seen a dog-like mentality like Angel Reese. We haven't seen it. Maybe somebody's done it, but I ain't heard of it, B. And that's where I stand on it.
Carl, talk to us. I'm coming, but Carl, you go ahead and take the floor. I want to hear you taking it. I'm coming too.
Oh, B. So Brandon, being one of the best 12 players don't matter. Like, you're gonna bypass. Smoke, you talk. I'm talking to Brandon right now. I'm talking to B right now. Keep your head now. So, being one of the best 12 players doesn't matter anymore. We getting in because of internet popularity, or TV popularity. You ain't got to be one of the best 12.
Carl, she is one of the best 12 in the world.
Okay, hold on, Smoke. Hold on. You might be right. I'm not even gonna make that my discussion on my goalpost. You might be right. Here's my goalpost: is Diana Taurasi one of the best 12? That's all I'm asking.
To me, yes.
Reed, you better go to ESPN and look up the numbers.
Man, you better go check the stats, my guy.
Go look at the numbers.
My brother was at the Mercury game a couple weeks ago. He said she still got it, bro.
She does. I don't disagree with
that. The man ain't saying that she don't got it. If she wanted to flat out walk into a room, you're one of the 12 best right now. Enrique
Ogunbowale is better than Diana Taurasi today, and that is with the utmost respect to a lady who has won 5 gold medals, numerous NCAA titles. Is to me.
Don't say numerous. Don't say numerous. She won 3. Let's not say numerous.
Cool. There you go. Good.
3 WNBA titles.
Listen, and is arguably the best player of my generation. Like, I think you could put Candace Parker in that debate and not be wrong. Like, I think that's a fair statement, right? So I don't want to go either way on that one, but she's one of them ones. Mm-hmm. But there comes a time for everybody to pass the mantle. Caitlin Clark is the biggest draw. I'm not saying she's the best player. It's not what I'm saying. Let me not move this goalpost. She's the biggest draw in women's basketball history, period. At 22. Not saying she's the best player. I'm not disrespecting Swoops, Leslie, Cheryl Miller. I'm not saying Caitlin Clark is the most influential player. That also is not my argument. Multiple names can exist at once, but she is the biggest singular draw in women's basketball history. 6 networks this year have broadcast WNBA games with all-time record attendance highs for the network viewership-wise. All 6 games have featured Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is yet to play in a game that has not been sold out all year long. And you know what? She won't play in one. You know why? First of all, because she's good. Second of all, because she's a polarizing figure. You got 3 dudes who all have very different backgrounds, and we're spending 20 minutes, and rightfully so, because she's earned it, on this topic.
Listen, bro.
Talk to me.
Number one, we're not going to ever, on a show that I'm a part of, downplay Diana Taurasi in any way, right? Diana Taurasi is the women's GOAT, right?
Sure.
Like, real, ain't no sure. Ain't no.
Sure, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying sure. Like Carl, I don't. What you're not understanding is this: in the summertime, when there's nothing coming on TV, just think about it. You're in your backyard barbecuing, chilling out. Mom's got them greens cooking up, and they fire. I just finished them up last night, and Caitlin's not on. Are you rushing to that TV to say, "Oh, let me put that game on at 1 a.m, at 11 o'clock"? No, they'll have her on prime time.
Come on.
So if the WNBA want to sell the WNBA to the world, what an opportunity that they just missed.
Amen.
Huge opportunity.
She would have sold 2 million jerseys.
Easy.
She'd have sold 2 million jerseys. She would have sold 2 million Caitlin Clark USA jerseys. I don't think that's a stretch. 2 million.
What a whiff. Pride. Whoever's in charge of that, it's too much pride.
And okay, cool. Let's say we don't want to take her, right? Let's say we know we're not going to take her. They had the Olympic training camp in Cleveland. I was there. I was in the hotel lobby with Young and Gray and Taurasi, and this is during the Final Four, Carl. Listen, you knew then you weren't going to take her. With all due respect to Haley Van Lith, she got to stay home. Caitlin Clark going to play 3-on-3. Angel Reese going to play 3-on-3. We're going to put Brink, Reese, and Clark on the same team. But all three of those people needed to be represented in the Olympics. Obviously, now Brink with the injury isn't going to be able to go, and I hate that for her. What a great young woman. She's amazing. But all three of those people should have been in there.
Address this comment right here, B and Smoke. She's been in the league for 5 minutes by Ivy Locke.
Hold on, that's a great comment. But I remember watching LeBron James that first year in Cleveland, straight out of St. Vincent.
Don't you dare do that.
He had been in the league for 30 minutes.
The draw, Carl. We're talking about the draw.
Just the draw. I didn't say player. The eyeball. I remember LeBron would play and everyone would stop. And we all watched LeBron play. And that's what this is. Caitlin plays and we all, yesterday at 4 o'clock, what were you doing? By 5 o'clock, you had the TV on. If you didn't have it on at 4, the game got close. You were watching. People were tweeting. You was in the group message. The game happened over 32 seconds, Reed. You in the group message. Oh, man, what about Angel Reese now? What about Angel Reese now?
Hey, CR3 loves Angel Reese. Like, that's his favorite player in the world. So, I got to ride with my son on that.
And I love it because everybody loves one or the other, right? Like, if
fine.
Clark is the biggest draw, Reese ain't far behind. Like, that's not even to say Reese's chopped liver. It is, and it's Bird and Magic in terms of like the draw to the two of them together. It's
to
awesome.
The game.
We've been waiting for this. How can we then get the biggest stage in the world and not take advantage of that? It just seems like we should have done that. I agree with Smoke. We missed it there.
What a whiff.
Bro, here's what y'all.
Carl, before you even get in, the NBA embraced Magic versus Larry. And Larry was tearing Magic butt up. Okay? But they embraced. Oh, yeah. That's a whole nother one. Larry was tearing Magic up, all right? Not the same skill set, not the same players. But that's a whole nother thing. So the NBA embraced that. And what did that do? It gave Michael Jordan now that platform to stand on and say, yup, we're here. If they would have said, no, we can't, we got to keep it with Kareem and Dr. J, like, man, the league would have been a dump. So you got to embrace this. First Take. America, like every single channel, when you turn it on this morning, was talking about Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark.
Absolutely.
When was the last time that we ever did that for any female sport? Name it. And you don't want that for the world to see?
It's a good point.
What a whiff.
Bro, here's I think where you losing the people, both of you.
Now I'm losing you, not the people.
You comparing her to LeBron James, bro.
It's a fair comparison when we're talking about the draw, the attention that she is bringing to the game. That's the same thing. Listen, Kobe never fought that. Kobe didn't fight it. Kobe knew what was going on. Like, hey, listen, for the game to move on, the young boy from Akron, we got to put him on. We got to put him on.
Does she have to win a championship before she's solidified?
Carl, none of us are saying anything about solidifying her as a player. We're just saying what she brings to the female sport. The last person that had this much of it was King James.
Yep.
Before that was Mike, because Kobe wasn't even in it like that. That's it.
Hey,
That's all we're saying.
You know what it is, Smoke? I got it. Everything about this, Carl's bothered because it's like Taylor Swift or Drake selling out arenas. And you're like, they not even about the art for real. They not us.
It happens. Taylor Swift made the NFL so much money.
They
you had young 13, 12-year-old, 14-year-old girls watching the Super Bowl. Why? Taylor.
Yeah.
Not because of Travis, not because, but you're growing the brand. You're reaching people that you wouldn't even touch. Carl, you got the typical dude in a bar right now. Yesterday was watching WNBA, drinking whatever they drinking, eating whatever awful wings that we're eating, and they was watching those two young girls hoop and go at it. And you don't want to see that in the summertime for Olympics for the gold?
Well, you want to see that she's a major piece of the team, but she probably wouldn't start on that team.
Man, Larry Bird was on the dream team and he didn't play. Magic couldn't do nothing.
Listen, Magic had been retired for a year already. Magic had been out with HIV. They brought him back. They brought him out retirement for this.
Yes, because they knew the world needed to see Magic. So, hey, listen, go get him. Bird, put that back together. Put the oil in your back, put the screw in, and we're going to pull you along. We know the only reason why the whole game went on and brought all the attention to say, whoa, basketball is here. Michael stuck his tongue out, brought his new shoes out. Charles, that's the whole reason. Nobody knew them dudes. They knew Michael and Magic.
So, B, you said something earlier when we were talking football about Juju and pushing the needle. You feel like WNBA, like college girls should be able to leave it early to go into the WNBA draft? Do you feel like that?
Well, I think at this point you should be able to do whatever you want to do. Like I'm not a proponent that she should leave. I'm not a proponent that she should stay. But I don't understand why there's collective bargaining that keeps her out. Because that doesn't hold, you know what I mean? Like, especially once you get to the third year. I don't know why you have to stay for 4. You know, the NFL still's got the 3 removed. NBA's got the 1. Okay, cool. There's some kind of bargaining down for players who are ready to go and get that stage. Why do we not have that for a Juju Watkins where she can at least bargain down a year and go play? I think, and it's always been the money, right? I get it. Kayla Clark making a lot of money. So that argument's gone. That was always the argument. Well, they need to stay in school, get their degree. Not anymore. So let's change that narrative that's built around it. Let's get that figured out. I think they should be at least bargain it down for a year, in my opinion.
Reed, let me ask you a question. And this is pertaining to any athlete that's ready to go pro. So we talked about the 1%, right? If you know your son, if you know that player is at 1%, like go. Like Juju, there's not another female in college basketball that can stay in front of her and hoop with her. She's not going to get better playing college basketball. I'm going to tell you that right now. The only way she gets better is to go play against pros. No one's going to challenge her, and her game is going to stay stagnant. She can go right now and get into WNBA and put it on them girls.
So you don't. But they not making the money and it's not life-changing money for those.
But you're talking about salary. What we just tried to educate you on like 5 minutes ago when you had earmuffs on, you had all that in your ears doing this, is branding, marketing. Like, real money is not.
You already have that at college.
Hold tight real quick. Real money is not made through your salary. The money comes in marketing opportunities. When I'm not playing, that's when I want to see my money grow. That's when you start talking about guap. Braun made more money off the court than on the court. That's money.
Shout out to Clutch Sports.
You understand? So that whole, when you're in college, no, you ain't signing no Nike deal if you're at an Under Armour school. You're not signing any deals if you're at that one school that says you have to wear these shoes. So let me go get my logo and let me get on and let me go get my 20, like the next contract for the top rated female basketball player is going to be 50 mil. Caitlin already put it at 20. Juju gonna say double me up, 40, 50. Easy. Because I got the culture with me.
Okay, stay with me on this. Stay with me on
Go
this.
ahead.
And I think this kind of meets y'all's point in the middle. I think we can say, at least for the time being, Caitlin ends up being an outlier because she just was so dynamic. Very Steph Curry-like of her, right? The way that he played so differently at his size. He just is a different dude. The shoes, the Curry brand, all the other things, right? There's not another young guy behind Steph right now that's been able to generate that type of buzz for 5 years in a row. Even the championships, right? King James in front, Steph behind, and then there's kind of a lull. Like, is it going to be Anthony Edwards? Is it, none of those guys have. Steph looks like the kid next door, right? He really does. He looks like he could live next to your house when he was 12, and he looks like he could live next to your house now in his 30s. I don't know that Juju's going to have that same Caitlin Clark, like, in terms of the crossover effect, right? The value in the crossover effect. Even Angel Reese, as dope as she is, Angel Reese has real height. Angel Reese is 6'3", 6'4". She's moving and selling units, but she's more of a post player. Sonny Vaccaro, Carl Reed, you're going to speak to this. Sonny Vaccaro used to always say, guard, sell sneakers.
Agreed.
Because they look like the people down the street from you in your house. Now, Juju throwing out the first pitch last night at the Dodgers, right? There's a ton of things that they've done a great job of her with crossover-wise, and it's awesome. And I think another year or two in college can help build the storyline for her to put her in position to be successful, play in the Final Four, a couple of things she hadn't done yet. Like, I do think there's some validity to her staying, and that's where I think it comes from, is being the marketability to take her to the next level. But I don't disagree. The contract will be different. I just think she needs more and more narrative behind it before she heads out. That's all.
All right. So I'm going to push back against that and not totally disagree, but I'm about 98% not agreeing with what you're saying. All right. So I'm going to put it to you like this, and we're going to go through it. Okay. She's in one of the biggest media markets, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I saw her going around with some people that are very powerful. Clutch, maybe somewhere around there. She's in the conversation of that. So where she's different than Angel Reese is that she's skilled. Angel ain't skilled. Angel's a tough, energetic dog that gets rebounds and plays like Charles Oakley, which is not bad. Juju is skilled, bro.
You done called the girl Charles Oakley.
No, her game is like Charles. The game is like Charles. Just a tough, gritty, rebound, set screens, get you 10, 12, 14 points, 15 rebounds, foul out of some, enforcer, nobody want to challenge her, get after you. Yeah, Oakley, Rick Mahorn. There's nothing wrong with that. They're great professionals.
Hey, man, she better than Rick Mahorn, man.
All right.
She had 25 last night as a rookie. I never saw Rick Mahorn get 25.
What, rebounds?
No, points, man. She had 25.
Hey, listen to me. Hey, Brandon, listen to me. How tall is Angel?
Legit.
There aren't as many females that's that big, that's that active on the basketball court. So she separates herself with hustle and sheer determination. Tough. But you didn't see a graceful post game, a go-to move, right shoulder, left shoulder over the box, step back, crossover from right to left, finish. Like, you don't see that. She gets a lot of dirty points, which is important. Juju is a skilled basketball player, can handle it, can shoot it, can pass it, and sell the game. If she stays in college for more than 3 years, wow, what a waste of time.
I would compare Angel more to your point about Mahorn. This is no shot at Mahorn, but Mahorn was an enforcer and just punch you in the mouth. I would say, like, at least Dennis Rodman, somebody that runs around at an elite level.
Hey, listen to me.
She is an elite runarounder. She's one of the best runarounders I've been in the game 23 years. I ain't never seen nobody run around like this where it translates right away in the WNBA. I'm even a bit surprised at how well her running around this has translated. Like, she gets her hands on everything, and I gotta respect that. She was the top
hustle points. If you want to say Rodman, go ahead. I'm not going to disagree with that. If you say Rodman's the greatest rebounder in the history of basketball. So if you want to say she's the greatest rebounder, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's I'm gonna disagree with that too.
Okay.
And Rodney was heck of an athlete, like lockdown defender 1 through 5.
Brandon, you see what I be going through now dealing with this nonsense that my boy.
Hey, I love the dialogue though. Hey, I love the smoke, man.
Listen, you're not seeing that. This is a good player. Charles Oakley played for what, 15-something years? Long career, bro. Yeah, Oakley's a beast.
Yeah, I had no objection to Oakley. Mahorn, I felt like it was a little bit too far, man. But I felt what you were saying. Smoke, it's cool. I felt it.
Yeah, you know, young Mahorn, not the old thick Mahorn that couldn't move. Young Mahorn.
Fair enough.
So what's next for the WNBA? Like you guys saying they missed an opportunity with Caitlin with the Olympic team. Who's next up? Like what or before we get to who's next up, what does the WNBA have to do to capitalize on the interest that they have now moving forward?
Well, the couple expansion teams are coming, Toronto, and then the Bay Area team there. So I mean, that's obviously great. Now you expand the league by 2. I think the goal that they've put kind of in place is to expand it to 16, so 2 more at some point in the next couple of years, which would be, you need more roster spots, right? You need more people who play basketball at a really high level. There's some really good female basketball players who are sitting at home right now, don't have a league to play in, but you need some more star power. You need Paige Beckers hopefully to be able to stay healthy and get to the league, right? You need Juju Watkins to get to the league. AZ Fudd has been riddled with injuries up there in stores, but you need her to be able to have a couple healthy seasons, get to the league. All of the branding power, you look at how good that 2020 class was as high school prospects. They were all in the top 5, 6, even Haley Van Lith, who struggled a little bit last year at LSU, but she averaged 19 and 5 the year before that at Louisville. Like, all those kids really panned out at the collegiate level. So you need more of that vertical integration, which is why I like Juju staying in college a little bit longer. And the NBA has struggled with this, right? The storytelling aspect of Cooper Flagg going to Duke and playing on Big Monday and Super Tuesday and then integrating himself into the league, that hasn't happened. And if you're not LeBron James-esque, you need that narrative. LeBron James' freshman year in college really was that senior year at St. Vincent St. Mary's. Jay was pulling up. Bow Wow, Mike Vick, you name it. They were all pulling up. That really was his freshman year in college. Most people need a couple years of the storytelling media machine narrative to really be ready. Caitlin Clark, after even her sophomore year, wouldn't have been anything like what we saw after her senior year because the media machine was in such full effect that last season as she delivered. So I think more of that. The people who were supposed to be stars being stars. Malaysia Fuwali of South Carolina needed to be a star. You need to take a bigger role on next year. Everybody who's supposed to be a star needs to be a star. And if we can have 2 or 3 more classes like that, along with these young kids, now we got something. League's in a pretty good place.
So, everybody knows about Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, obviously the women that are in the WNBA. You just talked about Paige Beckers. We talked about Juju. Who are the next few big-time players coming up out of high school now that we can expect to see bust onto the college scene as freshmen this year?
Look at Sarah Strong out of UConn, number 1 player in the country, per 24/7. You got Joyce Edwards. You got Jelani Cambridge. Jelani Cambridge going to Ohio State. Joyce Edwards going to South Carolina. Like I said, Strong going to UConn. So nice collective group there, but I'm going to go ahead and jump a class for you guys. Aaliyah Chavez, if you haven't seen her play, go look up some clips. She'll be the best player in high school basketball this year, out of Lubbock, Texas area, can flat out get it done, can score the ball, shoot the 3, everything you want in a player, very Juju Watkins-esque, right? In terms of her skill ability at such a young age. She's special. Y'all will really enjoy watching her, so make sure you check her out, man. Aaliyah Chavez can really hoop.
Has she picked the school yet, or is she still open?
Nah, she's still open. I think she might take this thing all the way to next spring, if you ask me. She doesn't need to be in a rush. It shouldn't be in a rush. As Smoke would say, the bag is going to be plentiful when it's time.
No.
So listen, we gonna close that on the WNBA for now, and we gonna go on.
So Carl, can I ask you one question?
Go ahead, man.
Why didn't you ask me what the WNBA needs to do to get this ball rolling a little bit more? Is it because I've said the truth and you don't like it? All right. Simple as this. They need to allow Caitlin Clark to play freely, change the rules, and referees blow that whistle. Because the brand that everyone wants to come out there and see, the main player, she needs to play like the main player, or else we'll start losing interest real quick. That slug them out, knock them out game, nah. If they allowed Steph Curry to get beat up and knocked down like that, we wouldn't see all the logo shots. But the NBA understood marketing. Let the big-time players play. Call fouls if you need to against them so we can change the rules and change the way the game's being viewed. There's a guy that played in Chicago that was getting hammered in Detroit.
By Rick Mahorn, no less.
Yeah. You know what the WNBA, I mean, what NBA did? They blew that whistle. Hey. We can't keep having these daggone Detroit versus LA game, old Magic versus Isaiah. That ain't sexy. Let's change this thing up and get Mike playing in June so we can start selling more shoes and selling the game. They need to start changing this, Carl. I'm telling you, because people start losing interest if they see the star player always getting knocked down and beat up.
So you're an NFL player, a general manager, college coach, and now he's the king of marketing. He understands marketing.
It's easy.
He's a modern day Renaissance man, Reed. Let him cook. Let him cook, Reed.
He's the man. I'm gonna tell you what, he came to my house, Brandon, and just got my whole house in an uproar with his nonsense, man.
That's hilarious. You gotta love that, man. I know it was a blast. Hey, invite me next time. Hey, Smoke, why you didn't invite me, man?
Man, listen, that's a Reed house. Next time we'll pull it up over my house. But listen, mom's got to cook them collard greens, bro. Hey, listen, top 5 in the world, bro. Period. Don't nobody at me or ask me. Mama Reed collard greens like that. Period.
It's the best in the world. It ain't no doubt. Listen to this. Last thing. We're gonna talk some football. You know we got to talk football before we get out of here. Now I know that Smoke wants to when we talk football, he just want to talk about Alabama. He don't want to talk about nobody. He don't care about nothing but the Tide, right?
Blitz, Bama, blitz.
And I know you, what people don't know about you, because you are girls basketball, you are a Georgia Bulldog fanatic. Like,
hey, Smoke, September 28th in Tuscaloosa, man. Meet me there. I'm already locked in, boy.
Hey, listen, B, you guys in our fight song. We take care of dogs. We put y'all in our fight song, man. We ain't starting that. We gave you our D coordinator and said, hey, listen, rock, man. We good. We took him and gave him back.
Ooh, how you pick up Robinson, man?
Hey, listen to this. We always talk Georgia, Bama, Ohio State. Smoke, I'm gonna start with you. Give me a national championship sleeper.
I'm gonna say Oregon. Playing in the Big Ten and just getting into the playoff, and then landing being around Nick and Kirby, and they got a quarterback out there again. And the brand of football that they're playing right now, good on defense, explosive on offense. I think Oregon is a real player.
B, what about you?
Well, I agree with what he said. I mean, I think, and again, this isn't a dark horse necessarily, but Texas, man, Texas is right on the cusp. They went and robbed that. Hey, they went and robbed Alabama. Robbed Alabama blind. Give me him. Isaiah Bond, you come over here too, man. But I think Sark's done it. I mean, to the point at which you're not able to play Arch, right? Quinn comes back another year. You lose Malik to the portal because you got Arch and you got Quinn. They're too deep. Reed, you talk about this all the time. Are they too deep at every position? Because you got to be too deep to survive the season. And I think in this particular instance, man, they're too deep at every position. I think they're pretty good. I'm excited to see what they do. That's another one. I believe that's the third Saturday in October, if I got a circle right, Smoke, that we're out there in Austin. Same weekend at the Formula One race, man. So it's a big season for Georgia. We got to play some people. But I think if there's anybody that can battle with the Bamas, the Ohio States, Texas has been waiting. I love the Oregon pick too. Obviously, Dan Lanning, Georgia ties there. That's why he's so good, man. Shout out to Kirby Smart.
Oh my God!
I keep telling you what. Listen, they all started at the capstone.
Fair. I can't argue that. I can't argue that, man.
And that's where you go to learn, to get your football. Hey. And that's what people say.
Reed, give us one, man. We both got one on the books. You're the guru, man. You're the state championship winning high school coach. Talk to me.
I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm gonna throw something at you. Right? And I know that Smoke is going to extreme hate. As soon as I say this, right, Smoke hate is going to overtake his body.
I'm gonna walk off that way.
Right? I'm going to tell you, like he's going to get into a situation where he's going to let his emotions get the best of him.
Oh, we got the flag. Oh, we got the flag already.
But you remember that I said this. Y'all talking Georgia, you talking Bama, the University of Missouri.
Hey man, Brady Cook. Hey,
the University of Missouri, man.
I'm throwing that flag all over you, man.
Hold on. I got a question. Reed, I got a legitimate question. Okay, hold on, Smoke. We got Luther Burden, we got Brady Cook. I watched Brady Cook in person last year. I thought Brady Cook was very, very comparable to Carson Beck in person at the collegiate level. I'm not talking pro projection, that's not what I'm saying. I think Luther Burden can rock out. Who's gonna run the ball instead of Cody Schrader? Schrader was awesome. Who's gonna take his spot? Who's gonna run the football for y'all this year? What that look like for me?
Amari Carroll from Georgia State.
Okay.
Transfer from Georgia State. He gonna take it over.
Fair enough.
Smoke, go ahead and say what you got to say.
Y'all, man. All I'm saying, I wanted you wake me up whenever that dream is. Carl, so let me holler at you real quick, because sometimes that's that emotional state that you're in right now. Missouri over everybody, but really you 3 1/3. You know, your wife gave it up. You really Detroit. All right.
I was born in Detroit, Michigan.
You 3 1/3. So listen,
this is hilarious.
So you're telling me right now, Georgia's the best team in the SEC. Period. Okay. Period. Right now, Georgia. Number 2, we're gonna say Bama. 3, you want to say Texas. 4, Ole Miss.
Oof.
Okay. Oklahoma's gonna have something to say. 5. So where does Missouri come in? They only take 12 in the playoffs, right? Is it 12?
It's 12.
Yeah. So you telling me that how to get in? How to get in?
I think Mizzou might have Oklahoma, Smoke.
You talking about
okay,
Oklahoma?
Cool. 5. That's 5 then. Fine. How do you get in?
I think they get all 5 in. Now, this is unpopular opinion. I think the SEC gets 5. I do. I think they're going to have 5 teams in the top 9 or 10 in the country. I think they're going to get 5. I could be dead wrong. None of us have ever seen it.
No, I don't think you're dead wrong. I just think that if they get 5 in, you might as well just watch all SEC games. That's not a playoff. That's just another game. But you're telling me that Ohio State's not have something to say? Oregon's not going to have something to say about that?
Mizzou beat Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
And
beat Ohio State in the Carl, again, like what you're saying is not wrong. But that's one game.
Ohio State wouldn't spend that too, boy. That collective went to work, boy.
Yeah,
let's not forget about what they added this year.
You think Mizzou beats Ohio State right now?
Hold on, Smoke. We got a question for you right here.
Go ahead, run it.
Oh no! Oh no! You ain't getting no more collard greens.
Listen, it ain't hate if you're telling the truth. I ain't hating. I'm just telling you flat out truth. Missouri, like Carl, you and I both know you guys are doing an outstanding job of keeping talent at home and building what y'all got. But yeah, that one you pulled that one.
Somebody look up. When does Mizzou play Alabama? They go to Tuscaloosa, don't they?
Man, you already know what it is. Money down. Don't play with me. You already down already.
Would make the betting good. Don't talk me to death. You already know
it. I love this.
It's easy. Hey, listen, Carl. It's easy for me. We keep rolling.
But he keeps saying it's easy because he still has his NIL money from when he played at Bama.
And he was getting out the shoebox back then.
Hey, how you know that?
He still got his NIL money. He still got his NIL money.
He was checking under the insole and every pair of cleats delivered. Oh, another 100 from me.
Hey, listen, they for his exit exam when he got done to be eligible and all that, he just had to read green eggs and ham.
Sam, I have.
In a wide berth of Dubos. Hey, listen, we came here to get a degree, not an education.
That's hilarious. Reed, I'm with you on the Missouri, though. I am. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win it all. But if you got to go dark horse, and we took Texas and Oregon off the board, and you're not going to go with Lane Kiffin and those linemen he signed, Lord have mercy. But Nolan Kid, like, they're loaded, right? But, I mean, you could do a lot worse than Missouri. At least they should be in the playoff. How about that?
He could have said Florida. That's what you're saying. He could have said Sunbelt Billy in Florida. You're right.
Oh my!
Last thought here. That schedule is brutal. I've never shed a tear for Florida. As a Georgia fan, I'm still mad about Spurrier, Tebow. I don't like them boys, right? But I wouldn't wish that schedule on my worst enemy. My goodness, fellas.
I mean, it'd be either way. Easy schedule, hard schedule. He only won 5 games, man. That hard schedule stuff that y'all saying is a flat out excuse for someone not getting it done.
He's gonna go from 5 to 2, bro. He's going from 5 to 2.
He ain't listen, the fact is he ain't going bowling. So does it matter? He can have the easiest schedule and still get rolled up out of there, man. Go right back to the Sun Belt. Sunbelt Billy, pull him back.
Hey, he be on. Listen, he be on Florida, bro. It's something about the Gators, man, that he don't like. You know,
he sound like a true Georgia fan the way he talk about Florida, but he can come hang with us. Come hang with us in Jacksonville, man. We'll pile it on.
I'm gonna give it to you both like this. I have never lost to Florida. In that run when they had from 96 and never losing 30-something games or 20-something game, yeah, 99. Go check it out. Gave it to him by 1 point. And then we saw him later on and bust him up in the Georgia Dome. Bust him up. 34-7. Go home.
Listen, man. Listen.
Had Spurrier with his hat off, throwing it. Man, go sit down. Take it off. You and the boys over there chill. And they're going to say, well, that wasn't a Florida team. Man, go back and check that roster. Shout out to my man, Daryl Jackson.
Hey, Carl, you got to roll him. He was in pocket till you mentioned Mizzou. He out of pocket now.
Go home.
You know, I know how to get him. I know how to get him going, man. I know how to get him going. Hey, something is really, really wrong with this guy, man. Like the hate that he gives Billy Napier and the Florida Gators, I just don't understand it at all.
Hey, I'll say this and leave Florida alone. Lagway better be real good, real quick. That's all I got, man.
Hey, Carl, let him know the only shot that Sunbelt Billy has to come back next year, he better put DJ out there. Yeah. And if DJ plays well, he'll have a shot.
He better be good.
Only chance. If he leave that graham cracker out there, no shot. Ain't got it. Yeah, Graham ain't gonna do it. The graham cracker ain't gonna do it.
Hey, B, are you getting the new college football game?
Am I? No, listen, I hate it though. So we got an event up in Chicago, the biggest event of the summer for my club, the 19th through the 22nd. The game drops on the 19th. So I'm gonna be 4 days behind all y'all. I won't get to play till the 23rd. All of y'all will be like a whole season and a half in on Dynasty, telling me what's good, what's bad. So
you're gonna be 4 days behind me. Smoke don't allow kids to be at my house that day.
Yeah. No video game system in the house. Yeah. Go in the back and go play. Go in the back and go play, or get a book and read.
You got to at least let him get an hour a day on this new one. Smoke.
We don't have a video game system at the house.
He does not allow his kids to have video games at the house, and all of my kids had their own PS5. You know, we couldn't be more. We the odd couple.
July 19th is going to be a national holiday, man. I can't wait to see the reviews. Hey, literally, I've been waiting on this game a decade. You don't get to say that often. I've literally been waiting for a decade. I can't wait to get to it, man.
So, look, guys, we're going to wrap this up. B, tell everybody where they can follow you and subscribe to you and get you on social media.
At Brandon Clay PSB, evals on prospectsnation.com. College coaches, check the scouting out. And if you're a fan, just jump on the social media, man. Let's go back and forth. All topics, all sports. We talking everything. I feel like I be in the kitchen cooking like smoke when you talk about Sunbelt Billy, man.
Smoke, where can they find you at, man?
Ben Reed, you know what it is already, man. You and I getting it done on Wednesdays and Fridays, unfiltered. We get all of this in. You can come check me out on Coach GV Dixon on X and IG. We got all of it, Reed. They just need to hear the truth.
Hey, listen, I'm CoachReedLive across all platforms. Y'all already know that. Of course, you can catch me with Smoke every Wednesday and Friday. You can DM me and I actually will answer your messages. And I love to talk trash to people. I love
He
for
loves
people to
it.
send me the hate. I love the hate. I love all of the drama. I am a cheerleader for all foolishness. So send me anything that you want to talk, and also send me your favorite Tubi movies. So I love to watch Tubi movies on the weekend in my downtime. Send me your favorite Tubi movies, right? And lock in with us. All right, guys. Hey, this is the Coach Reed Live show. We hope you enjoyed it. We out.